I'd like to call this regular meeting of the City Council to order and ask the clerk to please take the roll.
Councilmember Ashford.
Present.
Councilmember Beeden. Here. Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Here.
Councilmember Warden.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Here. Council has before them the minutes from the regular meeting of February 11th and the special meeting of February 19th. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
So moved, Madam
Mayor Pro
Chair.
Tem,
Oh,
any additions or deletions, I just wanted to note, on the special meeting, the second one there on the 19th, I just asked the clerk, as I just wanted, before that meeting, I put my suggestions and some comments there in writing to please file with official minutes, so she's going to put a little asterisk there to adjust these, the way these current minutes stand.
As per policy, anything you submitted will go in the file, but not in the minutes.
Yeah, usually we just put a little asterisk there when I do it.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a motion from Councilmember Ashford. Is there a second?
Support?
Councilmember Beeden. All those in favor of accepting minutes as submitted signify by saying aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We will move to presentations, if the clerk will read the first item.
Police Chief Platzer will introduce the city's two new police officers, Mitchell Holmes and Salvatore Vitale.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, City Manager Freed. Just like to introduce two new members to our police department. This is Officer Mitchell Holmes and Officer Salvatore Vitale. They come highly recommended from the Oakland Police Academy. They just recently graduated in December of 2018. They just started with our department last week, with the administrative section. This week they're in the in-service training academy. And then on Saturday and on Monday, they'll go to their respective field training officers, where they'll be in field training for the next 4 months before they're certified for solo patrol. So if everything goes as planned, and they study like they're supposed to, they'll be ready for solo patrol in June of 2019. So this is again Officer Holmes and Officer Vitale.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you.
Chief, Mayor Pro Tem.
Guys?
They're leaving.
Oh, Chief, you said they came from Oakland County?
They came from the Oakland Police Academy,
Oh, okay.
and they are
Academy.
both Macomb County residents.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, you're free to go. I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
We'll now move on to presentation number 2.
So Police Chief Platzer will discuss the city's new gun buyback program.
So again, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, City Manager Freed. What the gun buyback program is it's to get guns off the street. So for the last several months, I've been seeing articles in the International Association of Chief of Police articles about these gun buyback programs and how successful they were. Other communities have done it, from Cleveland to New Jersey to other departments throughout the state, and it's never been done here in Port Huron, so I'm like, why don't we try it here? And after reading some of the comments from the different organizations that have done it, I really piqued my interest, and I just want to give you a couple of them. This comes from an anonymous person that wrote in an article. It says, I never wanted a gun in my house. When my husband died, I didn't know what to do with it. Now it's going to be used by me getting some gas for my car because they give them cards or money for it at different agencies. Chief Kelvin Williams of the Cleveland Police Department stated, we know that as a result of this program, some lives will be saved, and we are encouraged that the police and the community working together to get these guns off the street. And Ron Goodwin stated, I wanted to thank all those responsible for allowing me to turn in these weapons. I can breathe easier knowing that it is out of my house and unavailable for my grandchildren or anyone else to get it. So with that, efforts to get the guns off the city of Port Huron, we're going to host a gun buyback program. The program will help curb gun violence and potentially eradicate the injury or death of innocent citizens or police officers through violent crimes or possibly accidental discharge. But with that, I needed a partner to do this because we do need funding to do such a program. So I reached out to Mike DeLong from Atchison Ventures, and he in turn turned me on to Donna Neester. So Donna and I met. She told me to bring some information on it. So I went to her office. We sat there for about an hour. And after I laid out the program to her, she says that she was very interested in this, but she'd have to present it to Dr. Atchison, or as I call him, Dr. A. So she met with Dr. Atchison, and after the meeting, they were totally on board with the program. So with that, what we're going to do is on April 6th of this year, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the South MOC lot here, we're going to host our first buyback program. With that, any citizens that are living in the city of Port Huron, and we can verify that through a license, a water bill, tax receipt, can come down to the department, no questions asked, and they can bring in weapons that we will take into custody and we will later destroy. And with that, we have different types of funding programs for these weapons. So if someone wanted to bring in, say, a high-powered rifle that we could verify through the state of Michigan that it meets our criteria, they could get up to $300. For a handgun, $200. A rifle, $150, and then shotguns, $100. And then we also are going to take in any type of inoperable firearms too. So the weapons I just mentioned have to be functional. They have to be actual firearms that work. But if you wanted to bring in a weapon that was inoperable, or a replica, or a BB gun, or a pellet gun, we will take those in also, along with ammunition, and we're going to destroy it. So we'll give the person a receipt. Again, there's no questions asked. They can bring it in. And then when this is all said and done with, we'll take them to the Michigan State Police and have them destroyed. So we get these weapons, these firearms off the street. So if someone's house gets broken into, they don't have to worry about a firearm being stolen to be used against somebody else. And our officers on the street don't have to worry about going to a house where there's a firearm in there. I don't know how successful this is going to be. We could get one, we could get 100. But it's being proactive to try to remove any unwanted firearms in the city of Port Huron. And if it wasn't for Dr. Atchison, Donna Neester, this program wouldn't be viable. So I really want to thank them for their partnership in this.
Thank you. Donna, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just, it really isn't me. Dr. Atchison was all over saying yes to this program to be able to support you, Chief Platzer, and the city. So anything we can do to help.
Thank you very much. It's a great idea, and I look forward to seeing how many you bring in.
And we will be putting this out in the paper, on our Facebook, and I think we're also going to be doing a newspaper, or a television commercial also.
Excellent.
Chief,
Yes.
sorry, did you say it was 11 a.m. till 6 p.m.?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh, till 3, okay.
Yeah, Saturday, April 6th.
Oh, Saturday, okay. Thank you.
Councilmember Ashford?
Is this the only one that you plan to do, or are you just going to pilot this, see how this comes out, and go
This
from
is the
there?
first one we're going to do. We're going to see how it goes, and then we're going to reevaluate, and maybe we can do another one towards the end of the year. But we've only got so much funding right now.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we have enough so we're not turning anybody away.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's a very excellent idea to remove guns off the streets and giving people opportunity, to bring them there, and then get money back for it. So I hope it is successful. Okay.
Does anyone else on council have any questions or comments?
Yeah, the only comment I have is thank you, Dr. Atchison, for stepping up for this to get it started. And, you never know, start of something like this, see how it goes, and need that backing in case there's a turnout there to get that, get the money, for those people. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to public comment. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the council on any agenda item or any item under the city's jurisdiction, now is the time to do so. You'll have up to 4 minutes. Please start by giving us your name and address for the record.
My name is Regina Spain. I'm the executive director of Enter Stage Right here in town. It's my husband, Brian Spain. He's our board chair. Our address is 647 New Hampshire Avenue in Marysville. Thank you very much for having us. We got 4 minutes here. We just wanted to kind of come and introduce ourselves, Interstate Right. For those that do not know us, we've actually been around since 2007. 2008, we got our nonprofit status. We're the Shakespeare people. Our first Shakespeare Festival we held on the North Lawn right here of the Municipal Building in Port Huron. We now have a home in the Citadel Stage in downtown Port Huron as of 2016. And since just over 2 years when we opened up that venue, we are about to open up our 28th production. So every single month, we do a new production, 3 weekends a month. And so if you guys don't know us, you really should get to know us. We also do a lot of things in the community. And in fact, July, we're going to go dark in the theater and just come out into the community to the Blue Water Fest and all the things that we used to do when we were gypsies before we got our venue. And I'll let you talk a little bit.
Well, Regina said our address is in Marysville. It's actually not. It's at 609 Huron Avenue because we spend so much time there. It's a second home.
That's true.
So Port Huron means a lot to us. It's a supportive community. We've had so many people come out. It's a place where we've watched our friends raise their kids. We've watched all kinds of things come through there. But we also wanted to let everyone know what we think we can bring to Port Huron. We think we can bring a niche business to downtown. Last year, almost 3,700 people came through our doors to see shows. Looking at some of the Tourism Bureau numbers, we know that brings somewhere in the neighborhood of $180,000 in other money to downtown. Our goal this year, and we've got some marketing things in place, our goal this year is to boost that by another 30%, to see if we can bring another, it's $40,000 or $50,000 to downtown, but another about 1,100 people through our doors. You know, as our reputation grows, we want to be a draw to downtown for everyone. We've seen the things that have happened down in Marine City and how that's helped businesses down there. And we know that businesses relocate a lot of times to places, not only for tax advantages, but also because you'll get an entrepreneur that will come into a town, and they come to the town because they like the town. And we think that people are going to see that in Port Huron, and we think that we can maybe be a part of that, bringing entrepreneurs in, because now they have a great place to come see a good show. And then the last thing, we try to be a creative outlet for all the residents. We have a couple people that come around every now and again to join us during our shows. So that's our biggest goal, is to try to bring things to Port Huron.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Just to give you a taste of what's coming up for us show-wise, March we're focusing on Irish, so we've got our Dancing at Lunasa. And then in April we kick off golf season, where we have actually 2 different casts, a female cast and a male cast, doing the foursome and the ladies foursome. And then we get into our kind of summer adventure, so we're doing Robin Hood in May, I Hate Hamlet in June. Like I said, July we're doing ESR out and about, out in the community. So if you need skits or anything like that done, costume players, we do things like at the museum for tourists in your own town, things like that. And then August, of course, we have our Will on the Water Shakespeare Festival, Summer Shakespeare, and so this year we are doing Midsummer Night's Dream. So a taste of what's to come. So yes. And that's
Thank you very
probably
much.
4 minutes.
Hope to see you at the theater.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to address the city council? Seeing no one, I will declare public comment portion of the meeting closed. We will move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda items?
So support.
Councilmember Beeden and Councilmember Ashford.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Councilmember Harris.
could you take resolution number 3 off of the consent, please?
Okay. The clerk will take the roll, please.
Mayor Pro Tem, sorry. Could you also take number 6 off of the resolution 1922?
Yes, we will. Any others? Now we'll take the roll.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes?
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Warden?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald?
Yes. Items adopted under the consent agenda include receiving and filing the notification from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission that they have received an application for a new SDM license at 3599 Military Street from Dolgan Corp. LLC. Receive and file notification from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission to transfer ownership of a 2018 Class C and SDM licensed business with outdoor service and Sunday sales permit from the Roach Bar, Inc. to Steve and Carl Enterprises, LLC, at 405 Quay Street. Authorizing and supporting the submission of a grant application to the National Recreation and Parks Association for consideration of funding through the Fighting Hunger and Commit to Health initiative to expand the existing meal programs and garden to promote intergenerational meal events and shared gardening activities at Palmer Park. Recognizing Safe Horizons as a nonprofit organization in the city of Port Huron. Confirming the city manager's reappointment of Scott Beeden to the Downtown Development Authority with a term to expire February 9th, 2023, and the appointment of Jody Parman to fill a vacancy on this board with a term to expire February 9, 2023. And the second reading and enactment of an ordinance to amend Chapter 34, offenses of the Port Huron Code of Ordinance for the purpose of updating the chapter and to include vapor products, electronic cigarettes, and alternative nicotine products as offenses involving minors. We will move on to from the city manager. The clerk will read the first item, please.
Accepting the unit price bid from Luigi Fernanari and Sons Cement Company Incorporated in the estimated amount of $133,652.50 for the 2019 annual sidewalk contract.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Pemberton, is there a second?
Second?
Councilmember Beeden.
Mayor Pro Tem, if I could, just a quick explanation. This is our annual concrete bidding. It's nice that we had 2 concrete bids this year. Last year, we only received 1. However, last year's winning bid was right around $104,000 and some change. This year's bid is up about $29,000. So you can see that with the higher market demand for people who can lay concrete. We call it the annual sidewalk contract, but the truth is we use this anytime we need contract. We can use it concrete. We can use this quantities amount. So if we have to do a driveway approach or a curb work or whatever it is we need concrete, we can use this contract with that rate. And we have worked with Luigi and Son Cement Company before, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Councilmember Ashford.
so the higher unit price is just predicated mostly on market?
Market demand. It's so hard to find people who can do
Okay.
concrete right now.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Pro Tem?
Councilmember Harris.
I guess that was my other question. James addressed some of it. He said that we've had these people don't do some of our work, but it's been competitive the last 2 years with Conan and McKenzie, and usually they've only been a few dollars apart, and now we're talking $50,000. And I just don't want to be caught at the end of the line paying a lot more than whether this company can do it at this price from out of town.
You bring up an excellent point, but if you remember last year, it wasn't competitive when we had 1 bid last year. It was always the 2 since the 3 previous years I've been here, but last year we only had 1. And I think this year, it looks like somebody banked on only 1 being the only bidder again.
Thank you.
They both do great work.
Good, thank you.
Councilmember Warden.
Yep, Mayor Pro Tem. I guess the thing that I see, I just have a question, because the current one last year was it Conan that was the single bidder?
It was McKenzie.
Oh,
last year.
McKenzie. Do we have, since we only have 2 that have submitted in this year to be part of the bid process, some of the previous, like those names mentioned, do we have any idea why they wouldn't step up to at least put a bid in?
To be quite frank, the market is so strong that it's even hard to get people out here to facilitate this contract.
Okay.
Because it's piecework. So when they have projects going on, this is a lot of piecework, a couple sections here and there, a driveway approach here. And so it's not a high demand or high needed, and it's not a high margin job either.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? The clerk will take the roll.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes?
Councilmember Harris?
Yes,
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Warden?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Yes. We will move to from the city manager, number 2.
Accepting the bid from J. Rankick Electric Incorporated in the amount of $335,013 for installation of 2 standby natural gas generators and ancillary equipment at the Scott Poplar and Water Street sanitary pump stations used by the Utilities Division.
Do we have a motion?
so moved.
Councilmember Ashford, second.
Support.
Councilmember Pemberton, any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem, if you see on page 2, there is a breakdown of the explanation for the need. These are, again, the generators that operate these two facilities if there's ever a power outage. Again, they not only serve the city, but they also serve the townships. And under our agreement, you will see the proportional breakdown of the costs. So of the Scott Poplar Pump Station, it's $180,511. Only $49,027 come from the city. The other $131 goes to Fort Gratiot. And the same with the Water Street pump, it's allocated based on the usage. So you see out of $154,000, 16% goes to Kimball Township, 41% goes to the township. And so that's part of our agreement we have with them on capital expenditures since it does serve them. So this will be cost sharing between all the municipalities.
Any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Councilmember Harris?
just one more comment. You know, when I first looked at this, and thank goodness we get a better detailed information than the public, and it appeared that we were just paying for installation. And I just wondered if next time we just put in there the installation and purchase, because it is part of the thing, it's purchase. And
Absolutely.
so I appreciate it very much, and I think it's good to hear what the other people are paying their share, so.
Yep,
thank you.
absolutely. And I thank DPW Director Witter for putting this nice memo together.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Councilmember Warden?
Yeah, I just want to, same comment as appreciate the breakdown here, and also, you know, as we are the provider of the service, to see that the agreements we have, that, you know, even though it's $335,000, ours is $112,900 of it, it's definitely being shared, and I do want to say I appreciate that breakdown to show us that it's not all on just the city of Port Huron for this. So thank you very much.
Councilmember Ashford?
No, this year.
Done?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? We'll take the roll.
Councilmember Harris,
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton,
Yes.
Councilmember Warden,
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford,
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Yes. If there are no objections from council, we'd like to take from the city manager number 3, 4, and 5 together.
No problem.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, we will move on. The clerk will read them.
Accepting the bid from Goddard Coatings in the amount of $21,675 for the repair, resurface, and restriping of one existing tennis court and one existing basketball court at 16th Street Park. Accepting the bid from Goddard Coatings in the amount of $13,775 for the repair, resurface, and restriping of one existing basketball court at Optimus Park. And accepting the bid from Goddard Coatings in the amount of $15,075 for the repair, resurface, and restriping of one existing basketball court at Sanborn Park.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Councilmember Ashford, second. Councilmember Warden, and is there discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem, I just want to thank the Community Foundation, again, $30,000 in grants from the Community Foundation, also working with the St. Clair County Parks and Recreation for additional $5,000 for each court. As you know, they receive a countywide Parks and Recreation millage, about 25% come back to us in annual allotment, but in additionally, they give us some capital grants as well, and so that is where the funding for this project will be coming from. We were able to do 3 courts last year, I believe. We did Sanborn last year, Knox last year. Sorry, not Sanborn, Palmer, Knox. What was the other one we did? There was another one out there.
Anyway, it was 3 parks.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Gratiot Park, there we go, Gratiot. So this will be adding on to that.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Councilmember Warden?
First of all, I really appreciate, like the city manager already mentioned, the Community Foundation for St. Clair County and also the Parks and Rec for St. Clair County with these grants to help out with these 3 projects. I see, you know, and also the compliments for the bidding process here that we have, you know, out of these 2 bidders, the Goddard Coatings came in substantially less, you know, by at least about $14,000-15,000 on one. The other one came in about the same, but actually with the grants here, it looks like we're going to have a very small, I mean, I saw on one it's only $75 because the grants take up most of the bid on one. It's outstanding work, and I just want to make sure that I definitely note that it was outstanding work, whoever did the bidding process on this, and also the relationship with the foundation and the St. Clair County, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? As always, we're excited to improve our parks and recreation area, so thank you. And we will take the roll.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Warden?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Yes. We'll move on to resolutions. If the clerk would read resolution number 1, please.
Approving the agreement with L'Oreal Ross Sterling Entertainment Incorporated to provide event production services during the 2019 Rockin' the Rivers music event.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Ashford, is there a second?
Support?
Councilmember Pemberton, any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilmember Warden?
Again, as we see these come up, I love to see what looks to be a pretty affordable package here for these guys helping put this on. I just wanted to know if we had an idea of how much, we bring in on that Rockin' the Rivers versus the cost of this, overall cost of this, of what, 10,400 is what it is?
Mayor Pro Tem, if I may. We receive sponsorships to cover the full cost for Rockin' the River, and with the food and alcohol sales, sometimes we actually make money on it to come out on top, and so that's the whole point of this, is it does cover the expenses through sponsorship. Nancy and her team do an amazing job of lining up sponsors, getting a good deal with vendors. You've worked with this firm before in the previous year, correct? So many years they've been doing this for us, and they do an excellent work, so they have a very good relationship to make sure we cover the cost with all of our sponsors.
I just want to say thank you again to have such an outstanding thing for our community and our city, and a very resourceful, positive relationship with some of the vendors here makes it very, very easy to put on, I mean, as far as dollar cost wise, affordable to put on, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Nancy, do we have a lineup yet? Come on up and tell us about it.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and City Council, we did just finish our lineup. I was hoping my team could be here because they've done a great job with this. I can't really take credit, but the first week is Magic Bus coming back, which was a favorite. We always is 70s and 60s and 70s. Our next week is Hotel California, which is an Eagles tribute band. And our third week is going to be Main Street Soul, which is dance and Motown music. And our last week is a Rod Stewart tribute, Forever Young. So you're not gonna want to miss it. You heard it hot off the press, so.
No Elton Ron this year?
Around, we gotta shake it up a little. Maybe next year. No, thank you for your continued support on this event. I think it does well with the community. I appreciate all our sponsors. Most of our sponsors have been with us since the beginning. So like Avia Credit Union, Three Olives Vodka, Earl Smith, and also Chief Charlie. So real testament that, that they've stuck with us all these years, and then all our other sponsors as well. So thank you to them.
Thank you. There's no further discussion. The clerk will take the roll.
Councilmember Warden?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
yes,
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Yes. We'll move on to resolution number 3.
Approving the scheduling of a public hearing for March 11, 2019, to hear input and comments from citizens on several proposed grant applications through the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, including the Michigan Natural Resource Trust Fund, the Recreation Passport Grant Fund, and the Land and Water Conservation Fund for assistance in renovations to various parks.
Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Councilmember Pemberton, do we have a second?
Second?
Councilmember Beeden. Is there discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem. Just one discussion, here just a week ago, we met as a committee on our goals and stuff, and several of the comments that we had from the general public had mentioned some of our parks and stuff. And I just would want to, I don't know if many of them will get anything out of this, would come here or not, but if there's somehow or another we can incorporate some of the ideas from the public's goal sessions, I think it'd just be a good plus for us, and a good public relations issue too, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? The clerk will take the roll.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes,
Councilmember Pemberton,
Yes.
Councilmember Warden,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald.
Yes. We will move on to resolution number 6, please.
Approving the appointment of Alfonso Amos to the Beautification Commission to fill a vacancy with a term to expire January 30th, 2022.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Pemberton,
Support.
Councilmember Warden. Discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Councilmember Pemberton.
You have to bear with me here for a moment. I never thought I'd be removing an appointment to the Beautification Committee from the consent agenda. And I didn't really prepare a statement or anything, so I'm just going to kind of share a little bit of my concern. Mr. Amos has really painted a picture, and I'm not one to usually say much and bring a lot of drama to the scenario. But Mr. Amos has repeatedly painted a picture online, especially via Facebook and social media, that both the appointment or lack of appointment to this commission or any other commission is due to racist activity of this council, of this city administration. And, you know, obviously, I went back and forth on whether or not I would even say anything, but I couldn't shake it when the opportunity came up and I saw this on the agenda, because I think it's important. I think it's important that we talk about it. As I think about, as I read the posts out there, and I think about and again, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes in and out of Facebook. We don't have to talk about, you know, every comment that happens on Facebook, but I think when someone's asking to be a representative of our city, and put on any commission, especially a commission whose job is to beautify Port Huron, and their tendency is to do the exact opposite on a continual basis, I have a concern. And I have a concern that, and I was really hoping that Mr. Amos was here tonight, because I really wanted to be able to look him in the face and have this conversation. I think it's easy in our culture right now to be divisive. I think it's easy to throw out things like accusing people of racism because it's this entity of the city rather than your neighbors, your brother, your sister that's sitting here with you. And so I was really hoping for the opportunity to talk to him face to face tonight about it. But I figured at least to bring it up, and just to say that the picture that's being painted, not only is it an insult to the people sitting here, this isn't even a defense of us to say that we're not racist. It's, you know, many of the posts I saw were a complaint that he wasn't appointed to the Planning Commission, and that this is kind of a token appointment in place of that, which is an insult to the appointment to the Planning Commission, to the woman who was appointed to the Planning Commission. Very rightfully so, and to insinuate that it was for any other reason than her character and her ability and her skill is an insult to her and an insult to us. So I don't know what else I wanted to say. Like I said, I spent my whole drive home today just kind of thinking about this, because it's one of those things, when someone accuses you of these things, you don't really know what to say. You don't really know, how to respond. I am still going to vote yes, actually, though. I didn't take it off the consent agenda to vote no. And I'm going to tell you why. From what I've gathered in Mr. Amos's other posts, he claims to be a Christian, as do I. Because of that, I believe in people's ability to change. I believe that he has an opportunity ahead of him. Hopefully, this will give him the opportunity to help beautify Port Huron. So I'm going to vote yes. I'm not going to hold a grudge. Like I said, my goal was really to hopefully have a face-to-face tonight and be able to just let him know that face-to-face. But I want to give him a chance, because I do believe he can change, I do believe he can grow, and I do believe that there is an opportunity here for him to come alongside and try to bring something good to Port Huron. So I think that's all.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that has anything to discuss on this matter?
Mayor Pro Tem?
Councilmember Warden.
I'm just hearing Councilmember Pemberton share those. I like to just share a little bit, Mr. Amos is, from what I know, he's not only been a city council member here, been very, very serving and always open to serve and help the city in many, many ways. I know he did for many years before this, put in his ability and application that he'd love to serve on many different commissions if it was available. And I just want to make sure that it doesn't get a little overshadowed, that, from what I know of him and how hard he works for the community in many different areas, that he does give his time and offer his time up to do good, give input, and to be very, very positive in the different things that he's involved in for the city. So I think he'll be great. And I just wanted to make sure in that kind of response that we still point out a lot of the positives that I've seen in him, and he's a great candidate for the beautification committee, as well as I feel he would be fine on some of the other committees or commissions that he's been open to offer himself up to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I would just like to say that I think all of us would like to see all of our residents have a very positive image and relay that to people about our community. But I do believe and agree that we need to hold those that are not only on the city council, but on any boards and commissions that are appointed by our mayor to a little higher standard, and to make sure that they are representing us in a very positive way. With that, I'll have that conversation and relay this with the mayor, and the appointment is from the mayor's office. So I will speak with her and suggest possibly that as we appoint people, we sit down with them and have that conversation of what we expect.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. The clerk will take the roll.
Councilmember Beeden?
Yes?
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Warden?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald?
Yes. This concludes the business of our regular meeting. Does anyone on council have anything that they would like to bring up?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilmember Warden.
A couple things. We got to attend the Michigan Minnesota League for elected officials. I think 3 of us there in attendance this Friday and Saturday over to get to meet some of the representation over there, to give some background. It was a well-organized agenda, multiple days, and I thought it was very, very helpful. Good connecting as well, some very, very experienced people from around, and also they opened up and let us know some of the great resources that we have here as the city and as council members as well, if we need some help and with stuff that might go over for lobbying over the state to what's going on, or some different issues for background. So I thought that was a great, and to see, of course, Councilwoman Beeden and also Councilmember Pemberton, we had a good showing. The other thing I'd like to say is this past weekend, right at McMorran, was just another outstanding private organization that hosted. It was for the Flames gymnastics group, but it was called the Wildfire Challenge. And I think this is the second or third annual that now they're hosting it right in McMorran. And what that is, it's not local. These kids, it's amazing how hard they work, and kids at all ages and all levels, both boys and girls. But actually, I got to attend. They have like a kind of a circuit over it. One in Grand Rapids, a competition. One down in Ohio. One down in I think over the Novi area. And these aspiring gymnasts come to these competitions at these different locations. And one thing about it that we had here is to have it right here in McMorran, have it right downtown, and there was 1,000 athletes at different levels came in, and every 3 hours they'd come in and do their competition, and then the next level would come in. It was a great setup and an incredible testament to all the volunteers, that whole group there. They have all the parents and different volunteers do everything from the setup to the changeover to ushering in. I mean, it was just and I actually did go over there and give some of my time for a couple of the shifts there to do some things, but I was just extremely amazed. And that's something that the more that if we know about some of these things, and of course I never knew about it 2 years ago, even living here, it's just another great event that maybe at some point as council and mayor, maybe we'll bring it up and look into, talking to them that organize it locally, that bring them from all over here to our city for that, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Even the last one was at 7 o'clock. So it was 3 days packed of and all the parents and everything. It was just quite an amazing thing. So I wanted to give a little recognition and shout out and awareness to that just happened in our town this past weekend, and I was completely impressed.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
All right.